What is up, everybody? Good morning. Good morning. It is April 9th. It's the Morning Vibe with the Dr. Vibe and Ryan Oneil Knight. What is going on, everybody? And I was speaking with someone last. He said, man, the week went by so fast. I go, yeah, well, the year is going by fast, even though it's been another interesting year. What's going on, Ryan? How we doing?
Yeah, I don't know why I don't feel like the year is going fast. It's like
Because you're hunting for a house.
and every day, it's something new is happening. So yeah,
You're hunting for a
I
house.
enjoy each of those
That's
days.
why. That's why that the should I don't know if it's the struggle or the journey.
Mm-hmm.
How's the house journey? I guess we got to get our show update. How's the house hunting journey
I feel
going?
like it's on mini pause. It was kind of wild times, and then it calmed down for a week, and then it's just back to insanity. So yeah, we'll see how. Maybe we have to come out of Brampton. I don't know, but
Oh
yeah.
Lord!
Right?
Wow,
that's getting close. But
wow!
We're gonna find a spot soon.
So for people who are watching, Brampton is like part of the north. It's like northwest Toronto area.
North of Toronto, yeah.
Is your preference to stay in the Brampton area?
Yeah, how am I gonna run for mayor if I'm not in the city?
Right. yes, Patrick.
I'll have
Patrick
to go
better
get
keep his eyes and ears open.
I love Whitby shirt and I love Ajax. I'm gonna have to. They'll see right through me. They'll be like, "Yo, you just got here." Hey, Patrick just got here too, and he was able to pull it off. So
there you go.
I'll do the Patrick. That strategy in Durham. Which city is looking for a mayor? I'm joking.
Oh, I thought I was going to carry on the conversation. I'm like, I to volunteer part of your campaign, but I guess that ended pretty quick.
No. Hey, if you're willing and able, I'm definitely open to discussion.
Are you saying I'm willable? I don't know.
And we have to get more Black people in politics. That is somewhere that we are not. I don't know if we're not taking it serious, but hey, look at all these different announcements being made, and we just have to accept it. We should be at those tables, understanding the landscape of the city, the province, and the country, and making sure that the world, absolutely, and making decisions for ourselves too.
I think that's another conversation topic you're going to birth on. We'll have to see if we can reach out someone that's involved in the political spectrum in Canada and get their takes. So I've already parking lot that for another either conversation topic between both of us, or get someone from organization like Black Canada Votes or someone who's a political representative in Canada, and get them on and get their vibe on what's going on political wise, especially with Black Canadians. But today, this is the first time Ryan and I are going to be doing something just between both of us, and we were chopping it up last night. What we're going to chat about, and went ching. It's been a little bit over a year since COVID hit, and where Ryan and I live, we're now in our third shutdown.
And they went even deeper. So it shut down, and then we got the Amber Alert that it's like stay-at-home order. So April's been canceled, everyone. If you haven't realized, if you live in Ontario, whatever plans you had for April, just chuck that. Done. But for me, listen, I am getting very close to being done with COVID. Like, listen, when they first shut it down last week, and I was like, okay, April, whatever I was doing, it's kind of on pause. But when May hits, don't talk to me about COVID. I'll wear my mask. I will, do the right distancing, but I'm running my business. We're opening the Black Business Development Hub. If you say there's only 5 people can go in there at a time and they have to be 20 feet apart, so be it. But being totally shut down, totally locked, stay-at-home order, the tolerance, I'm giving you April. So this is my announcement to Premier Ford and Feds.
Okay.
April, Ryan's cool. No, I will not protest. I'm in the house. I'm keeping calm. But when May hits, if I see another Amber Alert stay-at-home order, my phone is just getting chunks, and you'll see me in the street.
Well, it's okay. So, and I, as usual, the radical Ryan is coming out on this platform. Yeah, the radical mayor. So I guess that's his tagline. The radical mayor. The radical mayor. Get a license plate. Our radical mayor. The MYR.
I just see the lawn signs. Put those lawn signs all over. You ready for the radical?
So let's reflect over the last year. From a personal. And I know you're very involved in the business environment. Thoughts from a personal, family, from business, and you have contact with a lot of business, a lot of individuals. What are your thoughts over the last year of COVID? What's been done well, what hasn't been done well? Obviously, we've heard some of the things that you're not happy with. So let's start with some of the things that you aren't happy with.
Oh man, it feels like everyone's guessing, and that is something that I don't feel comfortable with. We elect these people, they vet and they find the smartest, the best of the. I'm assuming they're the best of the best. They are now our what would you call them, like the health advisors and all these people that are put in place to now figure out what's going on and direct us accordingly. At each step of the way, it feels like it was a guess. At the beginning, do we need masks? Maybe not. Sure. And then it got to the point where first it was like, no, it's not really necessary. Then it was like, it's mandatory. And now it's like, don't even leave your house. So every step of the way, anything that was put in place, they would do a nice press conference and really convince us that, hey, we know what we're doing. But 2 weeks later, you realize that they were so off the mark that did they just like flip a coin? It wasn't as deep in scientific or whatever scientific method and things that we're trusting them to be experts in. I'm not feeling the expertise. When you hire that consultant and they come in and you show them, hey, your chart is going down, and they just turn the chart over and they're like, oh, now it's going up. It's like, oh, wow. I could have did that. Like everything that they've done, we could have done ourselves. You could have put a rock in the room and said, are you going to choose this? If you say nothing, we're going to do that. And the rock would have said, hey, put on your masks. And it's like, I'm not seeing the expertise at that high level.
I think one of the things, and to be honest, I'm not paying too much attention to it because I'm just doing my thing and I'm wearing my mask. And most of the things I have to do are in the house. And I don't have to go out. Excuse me. But one of the things is that how much the U.S. is so far ahead of us.
And when did that flip happen? Because there was a time when we really felt like the U.S., and maybe they attributed that to Trump, but they were thinking, oh, they definitely don't know what they're doing. Like Trump is totally downplaying the whole pandemic and not saying to wear your mask. So I would say, even for myself, you're looking at the US like, yeah, they're upside down. We, Canada, the steady and, progressive and step by step, the turtle in the race, gonna figure this out systematically and methodically. And I guess we were just walking the wrong direction, and even though the US was upside down, they were walking in the right direction. So now they're topsy-turvy doing flips, so it looks wild, but now they're so far ahead. Texas,
like when I speak with a number of people in the US, they've got their vaccinations, they're good to go, etc.
Over 100 million.
Yeah, like most people, they've got their vaccinations did go good, and maybe because I guess it's being manufactured there and they're making sure they take care of their own first, whereas we don't have any facilities, to my knowledge, correct me if I'm wrong, that manufacture the vaccines here. Like
that brings up an interesting point, because I met with a business owner and he's in the biomedical field. And so they were doing calls for proposals for companies to, work on and research to create vaccines and remedies for COVID.
Yeah.
And he put in proposals. He's been part of Big Pharma for, I think, over a decade, and then started his own company, his own lab, and he was declined. And it didn't make sense to me that
based on what though? What was he?
But that's what he doesn't understand. because he has the knowledge, and now he's using his technology to create a pesticide that targets the protein that a pest needs to live, and only targets that protein. And so when you spray it on your crops, it doesn't damage anything else except for that pest. And he said he could create something very similar for the COVID vaccine. He was even brainstorming with his team about a nasal spray. So when you have COVID, you could actually use a remedy that would target only the you could call it a pest, the COVID pest in your body.
COVID pests.
Throw money at this guy. Yo, if I'm Trudeau and somebody puts a proposal, I'm like, if there's 10 proposals, all 10 are getting the money. All 10 are, I'm saying, yo, go and figure this out and come back to me with some sort of progress. And whoever makes progress, you're going to get more money. Don't throw out proposals because you want to give it I'm not even going to say give it to your friend, but you're giving it. I think Sanofi Pasteur got some funding. So people that they're already comfortable with are getting funding to figure this out. When there's new, innovative, we're always talking about innovation in tech. They have a whole division in the Canadian government, IRAP, about innovation in tech and bringing new concepts to commercialization. But this gentleman's story is not, that is the opposite of what the government is preaching. He has new innovative ways to attack problems biologically, and he's not even given an opportunity to start the research. And now he's shifted to agriculture because they've accepted him. Like, why wouldn't we? Are in crisis. We are in stay-at-home order right now. And I'm hearing a story of a scientist not even getting the opportunity to do research and help this country out. That it's a big loss. And then even
but my question is, okay, he's got approved to do agriculture. Is it the same federal government that he got accepted by, or was it different levels of government he was pitching to?
Now it's private. Like the private sector said, hey, what you're working on, could that work on food? And he's like, sure, let me test it out. And he's been able to figure it out. And so now he's making money in agriculture when we could have had him focused and researching. And he said it wouldn't have been like a big sum of money either. It's like $500 to $1 million just to get the ball rolling and doing the research. That, to me, if the federal government saw that as a big risk, that is peanuts in the amounts of money. Just look at the Ontario COVID relief grant that is going out. I think that's a $5 billion, and they're doubling it. So $10 billion just went to supporting businesses with $10,000 to $20,000 each. If you told me $1 million of that was going to go to a company that could possibly create a vaccine, homegrown, Black scientists, I mean, like, that's just for ACBN to put a feather in our cap that we know a Black scientist. But this is national we're talking about. This could impact, I mean, really international. If he came up with something that could target and destroy COVID, that is world news. And it was totally snuffed out before he even was given a chance. Like, to me, that doesn't even make sense.
Well, what we're going to do, we're going to take a little bit of a quick break, and a nice segue, as Brian mentioned, ACBN. And we're just going to check out a little promo from one of our sponsors, our first sponsor, ACBN. So we'll be back in just a moment.
Hi, my name is Ryan Oneil Knight, the founder of Detailing Knights and one of the founding members of ACBN Canada. Our vision is to help unite and educate Afrocentric entrepreneurs so they can grow their businesses in a successful and sustainable way. We're helping businesses increase their sales and operations by providing networking, training, and consulting. So as a business owner myself, I found it difficult to find like-minded individuals, especially in my own community, that were doing things on a regular basis to help our businesses grow. ACBN Canada is that solution. We've created this community to surround your business with support to help you increase your sales and your profits. With expert workshops and masterminds to help keep you accountable, come and join us and really get to the next level.
Welcome back. So that is our first ad. on the
Yes,
Morning
yes.
Five on behalf of Ryan Oneil Knight, the man, the radical mayor. I'm gonna stick with that.
Yeah. I'll run for mayor of the Black community. I want to be a
Well,
connector of all things happening in our community so that we're all one. We're moving as one unit. That would be awesome.
that's going to be a whole other segment. I'm not even going to go there. I'm not even going to go there right now.
It's possible. I
Hey,
will die with that to make that happen.
you know that all this is being recorded, by the way. All right.
Hey, quote it. What's it? April 9? Yes.
April
Boom.
9, 9:16 a.m. Eastern
It shall
time.
be done.
The radical mayor is on fire. Let's flip it a little bit in regards to COVID and the effects, societal effects. Like one area, definitely education. Like
Yes.
the impact it's going to have on our students of all different ages, and all this digital learning. And you know what I'm really concerned about is I bet you there are some students that are not getting education at all.
And I wanted to ask you about that because now, if a student doesn't learn well, I would say remote and without like others, what they say, like kinesthetic learning and visual, touching, feeling, what would we do? Because now they've been put in a situation.
So here's the question. That's a
Yeah.
great question. Whose responsibility is it going to be, if anyone, to pick up the slack?
And it's interesting too. Should we know what type of learner our students are? Because now we have no idea who's at home that this learning style. Well, if they try to do report cards, they might know. But to me, the report card this year is a total waste. Like, don't even, because what they're doing at home doesn't match the classroom setting. It has its place. I'm an advocate for online learning, and I love taking courses. I've done different classes online, but there needs to be a mix. Like, I don't think I would have graduated and got my accounting diploma if I didn't have that in-class learning from a teacher that could come up to you one-on-one when you're having trouble with balancing this spreadsheet. Like, that piece still is needed, and that's where we haven't figured out that balance. And again, imagine we could take the students that are like the students that take to online learning well, and then put them in online learning, and the students that need that kinesthetic, need to be in person, put them in school. So right now because we don't know what kind of learners we have, the classes are all mixed. But if we only can put a certain amount of learners in school, why don't we put the ones that actually need to be in school, and the ones that are okay and coping well online, we can now split them online, but we just kind of group them.
I think we have to give, you were sharing in the first segment about, they don't know what they're doing. Obviously, it's a thing of try, fail, adjust. They haven't been exposed to this before, but we are now a year in. So I think after a year, like the first few months, yes, understood, give them grace. But now it's a year in. I'm going, like, I don't understand why we're in a third of this. Like, how did that happen? Like, what? I was speaking with a neighbor last night, and he was saying, when the numbers are down, and again, I don't know how much vaccine was available. That's when, like, over the last few weeks, a real big push for vaccination should happen. Now, again, don't know the back channel about, what supply was available of vaccines or not, etc. But for it to just go up and down, up and down, up and down, it's puzzling.
Yes.
But obviously they don't. Yeah, there's sometimes it's uncharted territory. That's the thing. Are you in the cohort that are able to go for a shot as of yet?
Well, what I'm reading is that Peel, since we're a hotspot, we're supposed to get some sort of
you can go online.
We're supposed to get priority. So I don't know if that's priority all ages or priority still specific ages.
Don't quote me, but I think it's all ages. Okay. Actually, my next door neighbor, they have two daughters. The oldest daughter's she's a teacher, which is interesting. And then the younger daughter, she's in university to get go for medical, and she's actually volunteering at a place in regards to that. And we were having a bunch of sort of having a conversation last night. She basically said, I can go if I want to, because we're in one of the hot spots. You have to book the appointment online, which I have no idea how to do. But then when you try to book an appointment, you don't know if you're going to get one, because a lot of times they're full.
Yes.
So it's just a real process. And I know for a lot of people, it's a heavy load. A very close associate of mine, she works for a prominent digital company, and even a few months in the pandemic, they were told, you guys aren't coming back in the office for good.
Wow. You see that whole shift.
There's a lot. So for her, and she has 2 kids. So, and plus now kids doing from home, she's got to work from home. It's a heavy load for her. Like, it was a heavy load before this came, and now it's even a heavier load. And actually, she is going to be moving up north.
Oh, you see, expanding out the city, permanently. And I feel like COVID is just slowly collapsing in, like, on our lives. Before, we were kind of on the fringes. Okay, we can deal with this. We can line up. We can, follow. But it's slowly. And when you talk about family, come. You on break? Okay, cool. You can go sit down. Okay. But finish your picture. Thank you very much.
I didn't know you're an educator also. Like, I knew for adults, but now
we've been thrust into it. That's what I'm saying. And now we've had to sharpen our expertise on how we homeschool our children, because if we're not paying attention, like you said, the learning is lost. I see my wife sitting down with my son during his kindergarten class and making sure that he does everything. I try my best, but again, so many things are happening at once that you have to try and figure out, how are we going to give them something of substance? And we're looking at tutors and maybe coming in because we want to make sure that he's not falling behind. So having that extra, but we have the resources to bring in that extra help. So I'm struggling.
And you're probably in the minority.
Yeah, and I'm struggling with the focus of the government, because if education is so important, and if healthcare is so important, those are the 2 areas that we should be boosting, especially employment and getting people, so that, hey, we don't have to have all of our kids in a school. We can have them in different buildings. The rec centers are totally empty. If we hired more educators and had them stationed at Chris Gibson, that's in Brampton, sorry, or Century Gardens, anything that's empty right now should either turn into a hospital or a makeshift hospital, or turn into a school, so that we can spread out all the kids. They still can learn. We can do, like I said, 20 feet apart if needed, but at least we have the option of children getting in touch with a teacher. And it's not just, if the school's closed, everything's shut. We're very limited in our creativity, I feel like. Who's in charge that can just sit there and come up with ideas? There's so many ideas that we can do.
I agree to a lot of what you're saying. I think, again, I'm more agreeing with you now than I would be a year ago, because a year ago was a brand new, fresh thing. Now, you have some experience in doing it. You should know what your infrastructure and your resources capability is. I think, just shifting as we're starting to wind down here, that we haven't even got a chat about the societal effects. Like, this has just shown how great the inequities are in society. It's got really, really bad in regards to the inequity in society, and that's what I'm really concerned about. It's what we're not hearing what's really concerning me.
Sorry, I had to shift rooms there.
No problem. But just it's what I'm not hearing that concerns me the most.
Right. And I remember I was on News Talk 1010, and I was talking with Jennifer Innes. She's one of the counselors in Caledon. Yep. And she talked about when the mouth and foot disease that was hitting the cows, or the mad cow disease was hitting. And so Health Canada wasn't telling us specifically what was going on down in South. It was in Texas, I think it started out there. But if you came to the airport, they would ask you have you been in contact with meat from Texas? So they knew of it, but they weren't telling like the masses. And I have that same. Oh, I mean, they're capable, so they knew. I feel like they knew of how deadly this was or contagious it was, and especially with the variant, they were very low key. Like, oh, there's now a UK variant, and now that variant is like completely upending everything. My wife is in hospital, and she's saying this variant is no joke. So, how early did they know that this variant could? I feel like that's what's causing the whole stay-at-home order. It's something that they didn't anticipate, and now it's gotten completely out of control because of how contagious it is, and it's a worse symptom-wise. So keeping things to your chest, and we roasted Trump about that. We roasted him, just saying that, oh, he got a call saying this thing is serious, and he chose to not tell the masses because, by his words, it was he didn't want to create hysteria and mass panic, and now it kind of got out of control.
People die. Okay,
exactly. Like that was the calculated risk that he made. Yep. But all governments make that risk. All governments get information and say, okay, when do we tell? And we see this in movies all the time. We know this. They have that board meeting and they're like, okay, if we tell people that the aliens are coming, they're gonna freak out. So we got to figure out how to or the meteor is coming. They're gonna freak out. So we have to figure out how to stop it first, and then we'll let people know that it's coming. But we have a plan to stop it. I feel like that's always like that's the MO of government is to keep people in check, and that we are not our mental capacity is not there to handle bad news.
It's all the accountability piece, right? And the thing is, we're so focused on just the day-to-day living, even more so now, that for many people thinking anything outside of that, that's beyond their capacity.
Well, and that's what they're banking on. They're banking on us not being able to take in the news because now it'll disrupt our life. And we're like, oh, panic. And, like, they'll go and strip the stores and they'll buy everything.
That's another thing. Like I saw some posts in social media yesterday, and I'm not going to name the chain because they don't sponsor us, but there is a chain of stores, and you saw some of the signs of what they can't sell. One of the things was school supplies.
What?
Yes. Yes.
Like, that to me needs an explanation. Like, you can't just put up that sign. I saw this. And deal with it.
I'm going, they can't sell school supplies?
That is so backwards.
And I'm thinking, look at all the, and look, and like I remember last week, I saw a lot of posts, people saying, okay, people can go to the mall, but they can't, there's hundreds of people in the mall, but hair places can't open, gyms can't open. They're, like, people are going, like, where's...
Yeah, even if it's one at a time. Like, you can't open your barbershop, even if you're going to take in just one person at a time.
And here's the thing, too. My question is, what number, like, is there data showing that there's been outbreaks in hair salons or barbershops? And I'm not saying whether they should or should not be open. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, proof. Give proof to people. Like, but they'll say they want to be preventative. Understood. But when you can say, like, the biggest mall in Toronto, Yorkdale, can have hundreds of people in it, but a person who has their own business can't have, like,
2 people,
2 or 3 people.
Yes.
Doesn't sound even.
And that's where, if we're all on shut, and we've been locked down in Peel since like end of November, like December. Anybody that's getting COVID in that time, we should be able to pinpoint it. You should be like, listen, where did you go? Who did you talk to? Like, whoever's in charge of this tracing for the last 3 months, we should be able to narrow in who is spreading it and where is it coming from. Because the barbers and the fitness places, they've been closed.
Oh,
restaurants, nobody's been eating in there.
That's right.
Where are people still getting all the COVID? Like, if we're majority shut down, anybody that's lingering out and still, like, having to work, we should know where the COVID is coming from, because those are the only people active. So if that's the COVID app, if I don't know, like the contract tracing that they're doing, whoever's in charge of that, I have not heard the word contact tracing for like a month. So I feel like they put that on the back burner, but that is the key. Where like Ontario's just it's gone crazy and nobody knows why. And it's been a year, Dr. Vibe. We've been at this for a year. Anybody that gets COVID, we must be able to figure out where it came from. Because I've been in my house, so you didn't get it from me.
True. Well, we want to just, as we discuss this and we start winding it down, I first and most importantly, Ryan and I want to express our condolences to any of the families that have lost family members or friends because of this. Let's be real. A lot of people have passed away because of this, and most of all, we want to express our condolences. I know people who have lost family members and friends during this, and it's no joke. It's really no joke.
Because my wife is seeing people die, and now it feels like everybody has been connected to somebody that's either gotten very sick or passed away. So we are not dealing with a myth anymore, people. Like the conspiracies can stop. People are getting sick. People are passing away. And even people are recovering and still lingering in their symptoms are lingering.
Leads to another question. Why would someone, unless they have a really good, not want to take the vaccine?
Dude, the internet messes with you. Like you can see how the internet can like wow, it's amazing how powerful people are really underestimate how powerful the internet is. The internet can give you something that can be false but presented as truth. And there was a time there when I was like, oh, flat earth, these people are like kind of making sense. But that's how cycle you can get.
Let's save this for another conversation.
Saying, you can have our conspiracy theory.
That's a whole other conversation.
I put it on the internet. It gets one influential person to say a conspiracy as truth, and people take it. And now that's the doubt. That's what defense lawyers bank on, creating doubt. If there's any doubt that you're putting something that I don't want in my body, you'll cancel it. And you'll get your friends to also cancel it too.
Okay. Well, we'll stop there. At the end of it, we want everyone to stay safe.
As best you can. Yes.
And if you need medical help, and that means not only medical body-wise or emotional help, there are organizations out there that you can get. If you don't know of any, at least in the Canada space, you can reach out to myself and Ryan, or please go online and see where you can get medical help, because there are a lot of people challenged emotionally over the last year. And that's one of the things that has really become a light during this last year, how emotional trauma and emotional suffering has increased. I know people who have not seen people for a long time and they're by themselves. So my call to action or CTA from this is reach out to people and just check in on them. Not only how they're doing physically, but emotionally.
Yeah, and it means a lot when you reach out. Like more than
absolutely. Well, it's gonna, and this, I guess, one of the things that will come out of this is how human each one of us really are.
And you'll see those underlying core needs as human beings that are so important that we took for granted. Just being able to meet a friend to go for dinner, just being able to go to a party and be amongst people is so important that you thought it was just for fun, but it was actually for your mental health. And that I feel like is really going to come out when we get back to it. You know, like when you love something and you're distanced from it, then you become more fonder when it comes back because of that, because it was, you were away from it. So I feel like when we get back, that first hug that you give to a friend is going to be so powerful.
Well, then 3 quick facts that I'm going to put out there. Again, talking with my next door neighbors yesterday, their eldest daughter has had to postpone her wedding 3 times.
Okay, you see?
And also now she's expecting. So that's going to be interesting. So she's not going for the shot. Another thing I want to put out there is that just be safe and give yourself grace during this time. It's really, 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 really important to give yourselves grace, because we're all trying to figure this out. But let's try to figure it out together and try to figure out on our own. And if you are a parent and you are raising the kids at home during this time, one of the key things you can do is do the midday hug.
I love that. Actually, I'm gonna go hug my children
wait for
right
the
now.
day. Do
That is
that
so
midday hug. You know, instead of waiting till the end of the day, do that midday hug, and that's also with your colleagues. Just do that midday check in and just see how they're doing. So Ryan, what's up for the weekend?
What is up for the weekend? The house hunting's on pause a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, what was up for the weekend got shut down. So the tours booked for the space, we rescheduled it for May. So now I might still get some food. They're able to do takeout, and delivery. So yeah, we'll do some comfort food as we're indoors.
As you're comforting.
Yes, but don't call me on Saturday. Saturday, my calendar is clear. It'll just be, like you said, hugs with the family and relaxing.
Okay.
How about you?
I will call you on Saturday. All right. No problem.
What you got plans for the weekend?
Well, I've got a few things to do this Saturday. I don't have too much to do. I'll just keep on working on the Dr. Vibe brand, but also do some relaxing, get in a workout. The weather's supposed to be decent, or even if it isn't, get outside. And again, that's another thing, folks. If you can get outside even for a few minutes, get some fresh air.
Yes,
that is really, really key. And I'm not wasting the crisis, whether personally or professional wise, not wasting the crisis, because we want to, as much as possible, come out of this better some way, somehow. That is the key. That's it. So folks, thanks for watching, and have an outstanding weekend. We will be back with you 9 a.m. Eastern time on Monday, and maybe Ryan will have a new house by then.
Right. Hey, wilder miracles have happened. So
absolutely.
I put my grace in God and let him lead the way.
All right, folks, have a good one. As always, remember to give yourself grace. As always, I end off my conversations. Live your life as a dream. If you can dream it, you can make it. Sometimes you have to get small to get stronger. Block assumptions and aim bigger, aim better, aim higher, aim wider. Love, faith, and respect. And again, remember to give yourselves grace. See you on Monday. Bye.